Just a disclaimer, I am not a registered or clinically certified psychologist yet. My advice comes from my passion to share my knowledge with the youth in hopes to make a change. So please adhere at your own account and enjoy. Psychology says that we are innately drawn to being sad. Yes, you heard that right. So melancholy is not just for the poets. It actually gives us a historical example which allows us to feel less guilty because it ultimately tells us that we're more wired to negativity. Think of your own life for a second. Have you ever had the best picture perfect day? So you wake up on time, you're on schedule, you eat your breakfast, you greet your family, you're going on time, you get ready, you pack your bag, you go to uni, you are on top of your tasks with all of the work that you need to do, you meet your friend, you guys laugh and have the best time of your life like you always do. And then you go focus on your physical health, you go to the gym after, you're doing the best workout. But then you meet someone you don't really like very much at the gym. And the same conversation that you hate very much, you start having that with them. You hate having this conversation, especially with them. And they make a comment that just not very nice. And it's negative and it makes you mad and it makes you angry. So it goes something like, "Oh, Noor, it looks like you've gained a lot of weight. Didn't I tell you that would happen after graduation? I told you to take care of yourself." "Oh, Noor, what? What do you mean you're focusing on that only? Like, you should be doing more." Now, this negative comment really makes you angry. So at the end of the day, you lie in bed and even despite the fact that you had the best perfect day, like you've done your physical health, you've done your education, your academics, your family, your friends, your mental health, like you were very happy, like you were choosing not to focus on the bad and all of that. But then you lie in bed and all you can seem to focus on is that person and that what they said to you and the negativity that it basically your mind starts racing around that situation and that incident. And you just don't know why. Like, why does this happen, right? So basically, psychology calls this the negativity bias, right? This is when our mind focuses only on negative emotions over positive emotions, or negative incidents over positive incidents, and blurs out all the good that happens. Yeah, right. And then like our ancestors. So historically, we've been wired in the sense where back in the time, like historical times, like our ancestors, like cavemen and all of that, right? They used to focus more on dangerous situations. So if, for example, a predator, their mind would always race around the fact that there's a predator or there's danger around, matter instead of or rather than opportunities, positive opportunities. So let's say they saw berries that they would really enjoy having or stuff like that. They would rather focus on the danger than the safe situations or the safe opportunities, right? So now, I'm not saying that the person that you met or the negative, like the person that you met at the gym is a predator. I'm not saying that. Or they're gonna hunt you down or stuff like that. I'm not saying. Sometimes I do feel like predators, but what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to give yourself a break from all of the talk that goes, "Ugh, why am I always like this? Like, I hate how I think. Why do I always focus on the negatives? Like, get over it already. It's never that deep." Like, give yourself a break because your mind is just trying to protect you because it senses danger. That's why it focuses on the negativity and ignores the positive because it wants you to really be safe. Basically, your mind is trying to protect you by being negative. So give yourself a break over that. The key in moving forward in life with anything, firstly, is to accept it. Like, we know this. We know the key rule of anything to move on in with life, whether that may be grief, whether that may be something that happened, really, really bad thing that happened to you that you didn't deserve, or it happened to your family, or whatever it may be. The first thing to move on in life is to firstly acknowledge that it happened and accept that it happened, right? So for your emotions, it's the same. You need to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, and not shut it off or devalidate it, right? So if you're feeling that and you're lying in bed and you're thinking of that, don't be like, "Get over it, like what is wrong with you," and stuff like that. Don't immediately become your own enemy in the way you think, because just now I explained to you that it's not that you want to, it's not your brain that's doing this to you purposely. It's just been wired to do this to protect you, right? So the key in being happy is also to acknowledge and validate your emotions. Now, I'm not saying that you should just make it an excuse that, "Oh, I'm not even like in control of my mind, like this is just doing its thing in your mind." You can practice being in control of your mind, because I know it can be hard when our mind feels really powerful in the sense that we don't feel like we're in control of it, because our negativity can be really, really strong and powerful. And I personally relate to that. My mind is like, the reason why I need prayer a lot is because I need to practice stopping that racing of my mind, right? So I understand how powerful your mind can be, but remember, you can practice this. You've heard this before. You've heard this talk like, oh, you can choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice. Be active in your thing. Mindset. Like, we've heard that trends. We've seen that in TikTok, like, choose happiness, blah, 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 right? But like, we don't know how to do it practically. And I didn't know until I studied it. Like, I actually studied at uni, and I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like, this put into steps now makes sense how to practically be happy, right? So let me share that, and let me put it down into two main steps of you. So number one is understanding that absence of negative emotions is not going to make you happy. So the key is not trying to erase being sad or feeling all of the ill emotions. That's not how you become happy. The key is in finding balance. Now, what does it mean by finding balance? It means that what you're going to want to practice doing is trying to outweigh your negative emotions with your positive emotions. So, for instance, my graduation makes me really sad, and it makes me really grieve. Like, it makes me grieve my school, my people, like the place that I felt like I belonged, right? So I feel regret, and I feel I feel regret, and I feel grief when I think of my graduation. And what I do mentally every time I feel that, I validate, oh yeah, the reason why I feel that is because they were important to me. Those people, my friends, my teachers, they were important to me. Then what I do is I think of the moments that happened during my graduation that brought me happiness, warmth, and gratitude. So I outweighed the two emotions that I was feeling with three emotions, positive emotions. So it's trying to balance. It's not trying to erase your negativity. It's not being like, why? I need to stop hitting my mic. Okay. Now, you're not trying to reframe the situation as happy, happy, happy. So you're not trying to do that. Okay. You're not trying to reframe that, right? You're trying to be real with yourself, because you're acknowledging that negativity is everywhere, but you're choosing to not erase it, rather choosing to invite in positive emotions alongside it that will help you outweigh the negativity. I hope that makes sense. Let me explain it with step 2. What you would do is that you would redirect, right? This is conscious efforts of always being like, if something, like always being active in your mind, conscious about the thoughts that are coming in, and trying to redirect them into choosing positivity in the moment. For example, let's say you wake up and you had a really bad family problem, and like it just sets your day off a really bad tone, right? But you have a lot of people you need to meet, you have a lot of tasks you need to do at uni, and you can't afford to do it with the mood that your day started off it. So what you would do, let's say on your train ride to uni, you would sit with yourself and you would be like, okay, that happened. It made me really mad. Why did it make me really mad? Because this always happens to me. Like, why is it me? XYZ, right? You validate that, and you'd find reasons why. You not justify, more like you acknowledge why you feel mad. Then you say, okay, I don't have any control over it right now. Let me deal with it when I get back home. What can I do in this moment? Is I can choose not to ruin what's ahead of me. Use that mindset to being like thinking about all the things that are coming ahead my day, all the people I meet, my friends I'm meeting, the food I'm gonna have with them. If food makes you happy, then for redirecting my focus on the positive emotions, on positive things that are coming ahead of me after I acknowledge the situation or why I felt the way I felt. And it's okay to feel that way. This can be both. If it's something in the present, it can also be when you're having thoughts about the past, or like thoughts are always there, right? They're just like coming in and out. But I think that thing that really helped me stop and realize something about myself is when psychology told me, you are not your thoughts. Literally, you're not your thoughts, because we have so much coming in and out of our life, like our mind, and a lot of it is subconscious. Like if you're not paying attention to it, it just like reaffirms negativity in our head, right? But you're not your thoughts. You're what you choose to focus on and move forward with. Remember that, right? Let me tell you guys that it is an internal battle, and internal battles are the hardest. Of course, this is like you constantly 24/7 choosing to redirect. And I know when you clicked on this video, you were probably hoping it would be like instant happiness, like I tell you, do this, you're gonna be instantly happy forever. But life doesn't work like that. Life is all about in the moment, constant fighting. Your battles never truly stop. But trust me, you will reach a point where in the beginning it's going to be really hard to practice these steps, but trust me, you'll reach a point where positivity will come to you more naturally than negativity. Because remember, you can always rewire history. That's all I'm going to say. Because you're doing this for yourself. Like, I don't know if you can relate or if it has hit you yet or if anyone can relate, but there comes a point where you just realize like there's so many people in this world and nobody cares. Like nobody cares if you're happy or if you're sad, if you're succeeding or you're struggling, like, or nobody cares. They're gonna voice their opinion and leave. Like it's your life, it's on yourself to make yourself happy and choose to be alive or to live a life. Like you're not really living, you're just surviving it, you know. Like the saying goes, you're not really living your life, you're surviving your life if you're not choosing to be active in being happy. And the point I'm trying to say is that it's your story, and if you want it to be bright, you want it to be fulfilling, you want it to be alive, like you want to live your life to the fullest, then you need to make a choice. And the hard choice is to practice controlling, practice being happy, practice these steps, and basically practice choosing happiness, and it will come to you slowly. And alright guys, that's all for today. Try to apply these in your daily life and let me know how it worked. If it worked out, if it didn't, if you need more advice or what you want me to focus on in the next video, or like my content. And if you want to see more of this, then subscribe and like, and stay grateful, and I'll see you in the next one, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.